To some, it's all about creating a secular society. To others, it's all about discrimination. Quebec's government tabled legislation today to ban public service workers from wearing religious symbols on the job. It proved instantly divisive, exactly the opposite of what the Premier says he's aiming for.
My goal is really to unite Quebecers.
The bill would ban people like judges, police officers, and teachers from wearing symbols like kippas, crosses, hijabs, and turbans at work. Some current employees would be exempted. The bill would also require people to show their faces to get a public service.
It represents values, our values, and it's important.
This was a key campaign promise for the Coalition Avenir Québec party, one the Premier says a majority of Quebecers support. Proponents say it isn't anti-diversity, it's pro-harmony.
When you put us in front of everybody, my own religion against the others, it's caused division.
Critics counter it will create a two-tier society.
I remember what it's like to grow up and not feel like I belong.
It is unthinkable to me that in a free society we would legitimize discrimination.
For that point, the bill comes with a ready-made response. It invokes the notwithstanding clause to prevent challenges under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And it has left many minority Quebecers already feeling targeted and unsure what, if anything, can stop the legislation. Alison Northcott spoke with some of the bill's opponents about their concerns.
This heightens an us versus them mentality.
Turan Singh has lived in Quebec most of his life, but says this bill makes him feel shut out.
It sends me a very clear signal, right, of exclusion from society. So if I am a fully integrated citizen in Quebec society, and now there are opportunities which are not available to me, how fully can I participate in the society where I live?
The proposed law wouldn't affect his private sector job or his studies as a master's student, but he worries what it will mean for his kids.
I'm going to raise my kids, as best I can to go to school, to educate and do whatnot. But what am I going to tell them in the end? Like, there are certain positions that you cannot have in our society. So it's very complicated.
Bonsoir Abdou, bonsoir chers auditeurs.
At this Arabic community radio station, host Hiba El-Aidi says the debate around secularism comes up often.
Dépôt de projet pour la laïcité.
She doesn't wear a headscarf now, but plans to one day, and she worries that will limit the career choices open to her and other young Muslim women. She wants to be a lawyer, but the new bill says Crown prosecutors can't wear religious symbols.
To be told that you cannot have a certain job because of what you wear, I found it more than unfair. It's unjust. It's instead of improving as a society and going forward, we're literally going backward.
And there's so many other problems.
Shahira Batu is almost done her teaching degree and works as a substitute. Now she says her career prospects are suddenly limited because only current teachers will be allowed to wear religious symbols, and if they change jobs or get promoted, that exception will end.
I will move from Quebec. Yeah, and I also want to let anyone wearing the veil and teaching to move out of Quebec, and they're going to see that they will be the one who are losing, teachers.
She doesn't want it to come to that. She hopes people will speak out against the bill before it becomes law. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
There are still lots of questions about how the ban will be enforced. The English Montreal School Board has already said it will just refuse to implement it. Meanwhile, in a bid for support today, Quebec's government also introduced a motion to remove that crucifix there from the National Assembly's main chamber. It was put above the Speaker's chair in 1936. And while there have been calls to remove it many times before, no government has done so until now, and that motion passed unanimously.